making in live. How? Sweet, guys. They're hot fixing it. Cool. That's awesome and all. How did it even make it to live servers? How? How did they think that was okay to even put it in the game? I'm so sick of this fucking company. They're trash! Fix the game! It sucks playing the shit! And I'm fucking addicted! So I can't quit! I'm so sick of this shit! I'm done! I'm done streaming! I cannot stream this game anymore!
Alright, memes aside, I'm not gonna be one of those content creators that just shit on the game state for the sake of content. You know, I actually want this game to improve because I actually think it has the potential to be a great MMO. They just need to listen to me because holy fuck, the amount of brain dead takes I've seen in the Throne and Liberty feedback Discord is insane. Jokes aside though, there's actually some good feedback in there. There's a dude called Popica that actually made some really nice points. I'll link his Reddit post in the description down below. He wrote up a whole Luigi manifesto on what NCSoft needs to do to get their shit together. Because, yeah, he talks about temporary alliances to, you know, reduce the monopolies that these mega alliances have on the game's most important events, by the way. And yeah, it focuses the shift on independent guilds competing in GVG-based events. Thank you. Someone with a fucking brain. Holy. But my favorite part of this was the mercenary partnerships. Goddamn, I actually think this belongs in the game as well. I watched a little, you know, story video talking about the lore of Throne and Liberty, and I think mercenary guilds fit in very well thematically in this game. One thing I'd like to change, rather than splitting the events evenly among, I mean, yeah, obviously adjust it based on performance, you know, so guilds that are getting carried by these alliances should not be getting loot, or not be getting as much loot as they do, right? Also, I could add on to that, and we can make it so that the hiring guilds pays the mercenary guild an X amount of solid, or lucent, you know, from the items that they've sold in the guild distribution bank. I don't know, I'm not game dev, they can think of what to pay. But yeah, the hiring guild needs to pay those mercenaries to maintain that mercenary contract, right? That way, BMF is going to go broke because they can't afford to keep paying these guilds like Greed to carry them in all these PvP events. Just saying. Anyway, a little update in regards to my last video. After finally gathering up enough bad karma, I've jinxed us and we finally lost the castle. The throne has been libertized. Another 4-guild Zerg alliance, you know, decided to transfer over to our server. And in return, I've gathered more evidence to prove my point as to why mega alliances just make this game completely unplayable and an unenjoyable mess. And why Boney's a nerf, of course. So right now, in our server, Elea, there is the Unwanted Zerg, consisting of the original top 4 guilds in Elea, the BMF Safe Zone Alliance, and now, the recent invaders, the Ukrainian army. I shit you not, it's in their guild tags. I fucking wrote down KFC Alliance, KFC UA, Phoenix UA. I assume the UA is for Ukrainian army. But as you can see, this is the reality of Siege gameplay. This is Throne and Liberty's prized large-scale PvP. This is what the player base strives to be part of. Wow, guys, it's so engaging, so exciting. Wow, so much skill involved. Oh, mwah, fucking beautiful. Amazing. This is absolute peak fucking cinema. Holy shit. Wow. Granted, this siege was a fucking shit show from the start. The giant flying whale in the sky, Throne and Liberty's mascot, you know, had a bunch of, I don't know what fucking guild. But they rode on that shit and they just jumped into the throne room in like the first 5 minutes of the siege. So it was just fucked from the start, you know, getting zerged and then having that fat fucking whale on top of you right at the very start. Yeah, this was doomed from the get-go. God knows why that's allowed to happen in, you know, the one event that the game pretty much revolves around on, you know, completely negating the whole point of a siege, right? But it is what it is, you know, fuck it. The whale is such a great metaphor for this game, you know, and the fact that it just, you know, the whales fucking the game's PvP, like, guys, it's poetry right there. Do you know what I mean? Regardless, gamers, this is the harsh reality of Throne and Liberty's endgame PvP. Those small guilds complaining that they don't even get to do much because they don't have numbers to participate in this shit, you're not missing out on much, because even if you do have numbers, you'll randomly die to a flash wave that you can't even see. That's the reality. You know, MMOs are notorious for being difficult to follow in terms of PvP, right? And after watching WoW arenas, you know, WoW tournaments, like, yeah, I can completely understand new players not knowing what the fuck is going on. But Throne and Liberty's large-scale shit show just dials that up to ungodly levels. Because what the fuck are you even looking at here? I don't know what I'm looking at here. You know, I don't see what skills are going off. I don't see what people are doing. For the most part, they're just standing still. But yeah, guys, this is what a Mega Alliance Siege looks like. This is peak Throne and Liberty content. You know, every area you spawn into, every area you walk into on this castle grounds, there's a blob right there. I bet you half the players on the Zergs don't even know what's going on. They're just there for the vibes. They're just glad to be part of the experience. Okay, so what do we actually do to solve this issue? Instead of bitching about it, what can we actually do to solve this issue? Well, first of all, I propose that we remove alliances completely. Right? I'm not even gonna talk about, you know, limiting it to 2 guilds. You know? Just remove alliances completely. And on top of this, introduce a siege name feature in the World Boss PvP events. That way there's gonna be no scheming to form these unofficial alliances on Discord, you know. Well, I mean, even if they do, it's going to be very hard because, you know, let's say they push a guild together. There's going to be friendly fire there because, you know, they can't see each other's names and they'll target probably their own quote-unquote allies. Like, let's ignore what Popica mentioned in his Reddit post for now. You know, let's just start off with the fucking foundation of removing alliances completely. Then we can talk about, you know, systems that we can include to kind of form these temporary alliances or, you know, paying mercenary guilds to carry your shit, basically. Now, how is this going to benefit the game overall? Well, I mean, obviously the game's going to be more fucking playable because it's not going to be a disgusting Zerg fest, right? Full of flash waves, right? Plus, if players are forced to play a solo guild, other servers are probably going to get more populated as well once these Zergs break up, right? They're not going to have the luxury of hiding behind and being carried by 3 other guilds. The weaker guilds in this alliance are probably going to transfer off to a different server with other guilds of probably, you know, the same strength, and then they'll fight off against them rather than probably their old alliance members. And then for the players that are already in these dead servers, they're actually gonna start getting content because now there's gonna be people to fight. Yeah, and it's gonna be on an even playing ground because it's just gonna be one guild transferring over instead of our whole 4 guild mega alliance that's gonna make everyone's gameplay miserable because this mega alliance is just going to take over world bosses, arc bosses, and then eventually control the siege and just take everyone's lucent, right? Even if multiple solo guilds transfer over to a dead server, these solo guilds are going to be fighting against each other. So even if, you know, the players already in the dead guilds are kind of weak, it's not going to be an overwhelming stomp, you know, compared to if a 4 guild mega alliance comes over to their server and just eats away at everything, right? The new guilds that transfer over there are going to be competing against the other guilds that transferred over, and it's just going to be a healthy player PvP environment for everyone. Like, I don't get why they thought having 4 guild mega alliances was a good thing for this game. Like, having a 4 guild mega alliance is just going to cannibalize its own player base. What eventually is going to happen is that there's going to be a concentration of players because let's say, okay, a mega alliance is on one server. Now a guild's going to start recruiting other guilds from other servers to come over to that server to fight this mega alliance. Now a mega alliance on another dead server, right, is going to want to come in there because they're like, oh, this is where the content is. There's other mega alliances here. And then now you're going to have a server that has way more population than any other server, strictly because mega alliances are in the game. And then that server just goes to shit. And then they all transfer off to another server and do the exact same thing. Like, just have it so that there is no alliances in this game and your population can spread out through all these 48 fucking servers that you have. Like, how is that such a difficult concept to understand? Like, bro, if they don't fix this game within, like, the next month or so, like, this game is gonna go fucking... It's gonna die. Like, I don't want to sound like a doomer. Like I said before, I want this game to succeed. I think this game has great potential, right? But if this game doesn't do anything anytime soon, like they said we were probably going to get T2 around March, bro, this game's dead by then. Like, no fucking joke. If they don't make changes to Flash Wave, if they don't make changes to Mega Alliances, this game's dead. Within a month or two. Now, I would love to be proven wrong. There's nothing I want more. But fuck me, with how shit the game state is right now, this game is doomed. Like, our guild's ready to fucking skedaddle off to PoE 2 or Ashes of Creation. Like, holy shit. Fix this game. Alright, now let's talk about how to fix bow. First of all, let's cover what bow does right now. Alright, 1, it's got Flash Wave. The skill does way too much damage for the amount of skill it needs to get off. Right? And why does it also reduce hit chance by 300 on every target it hits? On such a huge AoE skill. Why does it also heal over time? You know, why is that all clumped up into one skill? Second, why does it have Tornado? Why is this on top of Flash Wave? Why does bow have a huge AoE Tornado knockup? Like, why? On top of that, why does it also have access to a huge AoE heal over time application and a heal and a cleanse? Why? Why does it have Deadly Marker, a skill that reduces a cooldown for everyone and reduces the cooldown of itself? And this can also be reduced with Blitz. Or like reset completely. Not reduced, just reset completely. Why is that a thing? Right? So for Deadly Marker, just make it so that it doesn't stack with other Deadly Markers and that it doesn't reduce the cooldown of itself. Right? That way, you know, other DPS classes can actually get invited into these dungeon groups rather than everyone just looking for bow users. There you go. PvE problem sorted. Now in PvP, right? Since with the reveal of the new mastery system, according to TheWhelps, I stole these screenshots from TheWhelps' video, we can see that the game and the devs are capable of altering skill interactions, right? Because the new passives that they had, they said that Clay Salvation, Swift Healing, and whatever that healing pool is from Wand, if you have this passive, those skills can now do damage, right? So why not make it so that if a bow is being used with a wand, Flash Wave only heals, right? And if a bow is being used with any other weapon, Flash Wave only does damage. Remove the minus 300 hit chance on it as well. Like, that is such a stupid fucking debuff on such a huge AoE skill. Right? There's another guy that mentioned making the damage on bow into a burn debuff rather than just straight up hitting someone for 10k that can heavy hit. Make it so that it just does burn damage. I feel like that matches its animation very well as well, and it makes a lot more sense. I mean, just the skill Flash Wave doesn't make sense on why it belongs in a bow. Like, what does shooting an arrow have to do with the skill? I get that bow is like nature themed, but even then, like, every other skill is nature magic, and then you have Flash Wave that's a fucking semi-truck coming at people, and the animation is a heat stroke. Surely this skill belongs to a staff, right? Or am I like visually confused? What's going on? So that's how you fix bow. There you go. Call it a day. Okay, now how do we address the game's general lack of accessible PvP? How about we literally just add a random wargame queue? Or a fucking random boonstone queue? You know, I get that they want to show off to their investors, you know, so that they can say, oh, we have active players on prime time every single day. Well, yeah, of course that's going to happen if the only content you have in your game is scheduled at that time. That's the only time where players want to log in. Holy shit, but they're literally gimping the rest of the game by not having accessible PvP. Especially when that's what they advertise the game on. You know, like all the fucking ads that I've seen about Throne and Liberty is going to be like, oh, you're going to have these massive, large-scale, epic PvP fights. It's a PvE simulator. Now, what you're looking at on the screen right now is literally a fucking draft that I made while I was running around Castleton because I was bored out of my fucking mind. Yeah? I cooked this up in 10 minutes. It's a 30 versus 30 conquest game mode. And I literally feel like this would fucking save the PvP in this game. Right? We're going to have normal queues and ranked queues. Ranked is going to have two different types. You know, it's going to have a 30-man guild pre-made queue. Strictly just for guilds. Right? And you're going to have a 6-man party solo group queue type of queue. You know, similar to like how League of Legends has it. They have solo queue, flex, and then they have, I think 5v5 queue, right? Like, it's actually fucking miserable that a game in 2023 doesn't have a random PvP matchmaking system. Like, World of Warcraft came out in 2004. They had random PvP queues in 2005. This game came out in 2023. Bro, what the fuck is going on at the state of MMORPGs these days? Jesus fucking Christ. Like, yes, Siege can still be the main thing of the game, you know, but at least give us some form of group PvP content outside of Siege that happens every 2 fucking weeks, by the way, for 40 minutes, and content outside of these Zergy world bosses that no one fucking enjoys because of fucking mega alliances. Holy shit. This literally opens up PvP to the more casual players too, because, you know, since their main issue is that they can't pull numbers or just aren't skilled enough to compete against these mega alliances that just dominate large-scale world bosses, like, they'll actually have fucking content, giving them solo queue PvP mode, you know, a game mode where you can find 5 friends or guildmates to queue with. I could almost guarantee you, like, this will boost the health of this game's PvP scene. Casual players will fucking love this because they actually can PvP. You know, and they can just fucking go normal queues if they don't want the stress of, like, going against sweats in ranked. If they don't have any guildmates or don't have any friends to play with, they can fucking solo queue normal games. Like, holy shit. And you don't have to taint ranked games by these griefers if you know, limit it to guild queues, or you have to be in a 6-man pre-made. Because you know full well that if a 6-man, like, if 6 people want to queue up and join together, they're gonna fucking try hard. They're not gonna waste each other's time by griefing in ranked games. And how about we actually give good rewards for doing these so that the game that's been advertised for its PvP actually rewards PvPers rather than making them do mind-numbing dimensional fucking trials or dogshit contracts to feel like they're making progress in this game, right? For normal game wins, right? Let's make it so that they win 100,000 solent and 40 runes. Normal game losses, 15 runes, 50k solent. Guild rank wins, 2.5 million solent per player and 100 runes, right? Guild rank loss, 500k solent per player and 50 runes. Group ranked wins, 1 million solent per player and 70 runes. And then the group rank loss, 200k solent per player and 30 runes, right? And at this point, bro, it doesn't even have to be fucking runes because runes is a lot easier now. Fucking give us material boxes. Because if tier 2 comes out and we still have to do the same dog shit contract gameplay loop, this game's gonna fucking die. No one wants to do contracts in tier 2. No one. Now, in regards to the other points that I also said in my previous video, transmog, I mean, you know what this is. If you played any other MMORPG in your life, just get this in the game. Stop wasting the art department's efforts on making all these unique gear pieces just to never be seen because they're never used in any meta builds. Just give us transmog. I know you want to sell skins, but Jesus Christ, like, the amount of skins you have in this game is abysmal for how long it's been out. Just give us some variety. Give us transmog. Literally. Now, the daily contracts, daily dungeons and stuff like that, just let us be able to use this in bulk so we don't have to run 50 fucking contracts at the end of the week or, like, 30 dungeons for no reason. Like, we're trying to speedrun them anyway, so just make it so that we can use these in bulk and juice up the rewards that we get in the end, right? So we do 1 contract but consume 10 of them, and we get 10 extra rewards. And then at the end of 1 dungeon, let us be able to dump all the points that we have stocked up. That's literally it. That's all you have to do to fix this monotonous grind. In regards to the mantle feature, bro, just completely remove this dog shit system out of the fucking game. The only reason why this exists was from back then, when this game had an autoplay feature. I'm pretty sure this only exists because of that, because your character would sometimes get stuck, and they didn't want that to happen. So what they did was they introduced an animation that would make your character automatically climb over something, just to stop them from getting stuck when they're playing themselves. Remove this dogshit system. No one in this game with any capable hands needs help pressing spacebar to get over something. Stop trying to tell the players what they're supposed to latch onto. Remove the mantle system. I fucking beg. Okay, now in regards to the targeting, bro, like, targeting, like tab targeting by distance doesn't fucking make sense. Look at this, right? I'm looking at all these practice dummies up here. Look, What's the next target? Okay, that makes sense. What's the next one? That doesn't make sense because it should be this. Okay, that makes sense. That kind of makes sense, but really it should be this one over here. That makes sense. But why the fuck does it jump back over here? Do you know what I mean? Like, how? What? They just need to make it so that, let's say I'm targeting this guy over here. Have it so that the only targets I can tab target to, or at least the priority ones, are ones within like 5 meters of this target. And we know that they can do this because the spear javelin skill, where the fuck is it? This? Or, I don't know, is it this? Yeah, Javelin Inferno, this, it says spreads up to 3 times up to 2 random targets within a 5-meter radius. If they can have skills programmed to bounce to targets within 5 meters, surely they can fucking program tab target to only bounce to the targets within 5 meters. Right? So like, let's say I'm targeting this guy, it's not gonna randomly jump over to this guy all the way back here. And like, this happens to me when I try and sleep bomb, by the way. So what's gonna happen is, I'm trying to run up to sleep this guy, or like I try and tab because, you know, I want a better target because let's say this guy's a dagger, right? So I'm not gonna target him for a sleep because I know it's gonna be likely to miss, because if he has dagger, he's probably gonna be running evasion. I don't want to target this guy. And let's say the guy next to him is gonna be a bow staff. Now, what sometimes happens is it's going to target this guy all the way back here. Now, I can't get to this guy as quick as I can get to this guy. And what's going to happen is, I'm going to think like, oh, I should be targeting this guy. But I can't sleep him. And then I just miss that opportunity and die. Like, bro, please, I beg, just, it's such a simple fix to targeting. Just make it so that the targets I tab to are within 5 meters of my initial target. That's all you have to do. And for melee players, literally, I'm standing here, right? If I'm melee, if I'm tab targeting, just bounce to the target that is closest to me. You know, let's say I'm targeting this guy for now. Let's see where it bounces off to. That makes sense? That makes sense? I guess. Not really. It should be this. Like, what the fuck is the logic? Why does it bounce from here to there? Like, what? What's the logic? Just make it so. For melees, have it so that it's only going to tab target to your nearest targets within 5 meters. And then for ranged, right? Only have it so that it bounces to the targets within 5 meters of my initial target. So let's say this guy, the targets within 5 meters are these two. Have it. Why the fuck? Why did it jump all the way here, bro? You see what I mean? It could be such an easy fix. Like, just there we go again. Why is it not bouncing to these two guys here? Why does it go there? Like, for ranged, have it so that, you know, when we tab, it's going to target the targets within 5 meters of our initial target. Like, Jesus Christ. Alright, well, that is me done with this fucking video. Let me know your thoughts, comments, and all of that stuff in the comment section down below. Leave a like, subscribe, whatever. Bro, if you have any contact with anyone in AGS or NCSoft, whether it be your nan, your uncle, your dad, I don't know, send this to them, and holy fuck, because if they don't, bro, if they don't do anything about this game, if NCSoft doesn't change anything to alliances or Flashwave, this game's gonna be dead in a month or 2. Like, as much as I want this game to succeed, as much as I want to see it do well, if they don't make any changes whatsoever anytime soon, it's doomed. This is just going to be one of NCSoft's dead MMOs that they have in their repertoire. That's literally the reality of what's going to happen. All these streamers that are streaming this game can be coped out of their fucking mind, but yeah, nothing happens, this game's doomed. Tier 2 isn't going to save this game if they don't solve these fundamental issues.